Hi guys, Mike back again with a look at a new game system that I'm looking to get into. So I bought a few bits just to see what they were like, and I thought I would share them with you. So the game system is called Spectre Operations. It's from a company called Spectre Miniatures, who are based in Nottingham, and picked up the rulebook and just wanted to sort of show you what it was all about, really. So I was looking for a game that something a bit different, I suppose. I do get intrigued in different game systems and will buy into them, buy the rule books, buy some miniatures, bits and bobs and stuff, and then promptly sell them on because I've lost interest. I certainly did that with Bolt Action. I spent quite a bit of money on Bolt Action, thinking I was going to get into it, and then promptly didn't and sold the lot without having built or made anything. What I was looking for is a kind of a modern day, real world skirmish game, I suppose. I'm very interested, as you know, in the 40k, 30k stuff. I like my Dead Man's Hand, which is set in the Old West, and a bit of AVP, a bit of zombie type games as well, zombie skirmish games. But I wanted a kind of a real world one, and Spectre Operations seems to fit the bill. One of the big draws was that the miniatures for the game, which Spectre Miniatures produce, are really, really nice. And it was pretty cheap to get into, actually. So, Spectre Operations, here's a rulebook, £20 if you're interested, 111 pages, full colour. So it is a tabletop skirmish war game, and I'm going off the back here. Introduces you to a world of action and intrigue, where special forces, intelligence agents, military contractors are on the front line, carrying out covert operations against a multitude of adversaries, including enemy nations, unstable regimes, ruthless warlords, insurgents, mercenaries, and paramilitary groups. So that happens. That's kind of real world stuff there. And I think another good thing about this rule set is that, like I said, it's skirmish, and you can play it with anything between 4 and 40 odd or more miniatures. So all you need 4 miniatures aside to get this game going. So that intrigued me too. So this is the rulebook. Like I said, £20, full colour, 111 pages. I've been going through it. Looks pretty good. It is set out sensibly, I think, where it sort of shows you the the introduction of the game. Talks a little bit about the game, what it's about, interspersed with full colour pictures of their range of miniatures, some in-game conventions, what sort of dice you'll be using, basing requirements, what you see is what you get, that sort of stuff, line of sight. Talks about models and character profiles. So there's various levels of character profiles, going from your level 0 untrained right up to your level 10 to 12 elite forces. Talks a little bit about, so this gives you the profile stats as well. Talks about the weapons and all of that sort of stuff. Gives you a turn sequence, and then goes into the four phases, which is the initiative phase, the command phase, which includes command actions. Then it's the movement and tactical actions phase, which includes combat phase. Sorry, no, it doesn't. Includes movement and tactical action, sorry, and then the combat phase. So it's all laid out pretty nicely. And it all kind of makes sense. So that's your kind of basic rule set within. So there's phase 4, talks about that, and then that's it. So in 42 pages, because this is a picture, bearing in mind that the first couple of pages, so that is your kind of core rule set there. Goes through the 4 phases for you to be able to play a basic game, and then it goes into more detail about vehicles and advanced rules, or weapons rules, equipment, off-table assets, how to create your force selection and points value, tactics guide. It's got some game scenarios in here. It's got 5 scenarios in here, which you can crack on with, and kind of does it all for you. Tells you how to set it up and what forces you should use to play the scenarios. So it's just, yeah, it's really intriguing, really nicely set out. So I like that. Alongside with the rulebook, I went all in and bought all the tokens for the games too. And these vary in price. So I bought the initiative counter, which is like a laser cut acrylic token, which was $3.99 if you're interested. So there's the initiative token to show you who's got initiative. And then I bought a load of other tokens, which are again all acrylic, laser cut. So there's all sorts there. There's unalert tokens and covert tokens, hidden tokens, tactical tokens, burning, bleeding out, suppression. There are incapacitated and stunned. There's a couple missing there, which I've since ordered. They were out of stock when I did my first order. I've got some. What have I got? Hidden? No, not hidden. What have I got coming? What have I got coming? Let me check my list. I'm obsessed with making lists. Breaching tokens and Overwatch tokens. So I'll be getting those at some point too. Along with that, needed some miniatures to play the game, which we'll have a quick look at. Picked up 4 packs. So we got some good guys and a bad guy and some hostages. So there are different, I'm going to go through them just briefly, different categories of miniatures you can buy depending on what sort of conflict you want to fight. So again, I've got them on my list here. So you can choose from African forces, African militia, African rebels. There's agents, there's the cartel, there's criminal elements, deniable operators, the GRU, Spetsnaz, the insurgents, the MENA civilians, which is Middle Eastern North African civilians, MENA militia, SAS jungle ops. There's some particular scenario miniatures, which include close protection agents and hostages, which are these guys here. There's a banker, a blackmailer, the boss, and the sheikh, which you can use as in-game assets or in-game objectives. There's SWAT, and there's a task force nomad. There's task force operators, tier 1 operators, undercover operators, and US Rangers, and then a whole host of vehicles as well. So there's a real wealth and choice of different types of miniatures depending on what sort of conflict you want to play. So I just picked up some basic some miniatures that I just like the look of really. Initially, price wise, we're looking at single miniatures, single metal cast miniature. They are the ones, certainly the ones that I ordered, came in these little blisters, resealable blister packs. Single miniature $2.99, double pack miniature is $4.99, I think. Let me check. General, at least, anyway. So yeah, $4.99 for 2 and $2.99 for 1, roughly. So we'll have a quick look. So this went for some tier 1 operators. This is the tier 1 operator Grenadier. So again, like I say, they come sealed in these little blisters. And this is the tier 1 operator Grenadier. So you can sort of see, I think he's got some sort of rocket launcher type, grenade launcher, not rocket launcher, grenade launcher type thing. But really nicely detailed. Different packs and stuff on there. He's got his other weapon slung at his hip. But I really like him. So he's got his tactical goggles on, tactical glasses on. Comes on a base. The basing system in Spectre Operations is 20mm. They sell 20mm bases, or you could mount them on any 20mm bases. And they kind of rationalise that by saying that your kind of field of movement, I suppose, your field of where you exist in reality, I suppose, is on a 20mm base, and that's how it operates in the game. So that's tier 1 operator Grenadier. Then we got another tier 1 operator. Quite like the tier 1 operator miniatures. This is the shotgun. Tier 1 operator shotgun Alpha. And again, he's really cool. As you can sort of see, moving forward, gun raised, another weapon at his hip. But just, yeah, it looks really cool. I think he's going to paint it really nicely. Again, I've done no cleanup on these yet. So, I mean, there's some bit of mould lines and flashing, as you'd expect, just from the casting process. But yeah, looking forward to painting these up. Picked up also a bad guy, if you like. So this is a Cartel. What is he? He's the Cartel Soldato Enforcer. So he's like the cartel boss. So he's a big guy with his big beard and a pistol, sort of trousers and t-shirt on. So again, I mean, I figured he was going to be, sort of, there's not much on him to paint, so I thought he'd paint up quite quickly, just to kind of get an idea of what the miniatures are like. And then last but not least, just picked up some scenario miniatures, which are the two hostages, which are two people here with hands bound behind their backs and hoods on. So these can be used for scenario objectives. And there's a guy on his knees there. So, but yeah, they just look great looking miniatures. Really like them. So I've got some 20mm bases coming, so I can mount these on bases. Where's the other guy? So yeah, I mean, all in, I spent about 50 quid, I think I spent all in. If you're only really available online in the UK at the moment, they do go to trade shows and various shows across the country and the world. Actually, I think they're going to Crisis next, Spectre Operations. So if you're going there, you'd be able to see them and see their wares. But their website is fully stocked. I mean, it tells you what's in stock, I should say, and tells you what's out of stock. But they seem to be restocking quite regularly, and they've got some new stuff coming too, which is good to see. So yeah, that's Spectre Operations. I'm really intrigued. What I'm thinking is that I'm going to make some sort of board game, get some sort of game board for them, get some buildings in, do a bit of terrain, all that sort of stuff. So some skirmish games can kind of occur. In the rulebook, it gives you, like I say, 5 scenarios, and they're played on anything from a 3x3 or a 4x4. So I'm not sure what I'm going to make yet, but I am going to make something kind of I don't know, some sort of Middle Eastern type game board, and I'll kind of show you that as I go through it, and I'll keep you up to date on painting these miniatures too. So once I've finished painting what I'm painting at the moment, I'm going to get some of these on a cork and start painting these guys up too, to see what they look like. So that's my first little look at Spectre Operations by Spectre Miniatures, and I'll update you as I go. So that's it for this one, guys. Catch you on the next one.